Hey little ones, Lee here, and this time around we're going to talk about the new movie Sorcerer's Apprentice by Walt Disney Studios, directed by Jerry Bruckheimer. Gotta admit, the dream team from Pirates of the Caribbean and one of the classic Fantasia stories, I gotta admit, I was kind of excited when I heard this movie was going to be made. Okay, maybe a little more than kind of excited. So here's what intrigued me about this film. For those of you who aren't aware and been living under a rock for the last 70 years, back in 1940, Walt Disney Studios produced Fantasia, which was a compilation of classical music set to animation. The Sorcerer's Apprentice was a 9-minute musical vignette that starred Mickey Mouse, and basically he was a titular character. He was the Sorcerer's Apprentice. He had some magic powers, he tried to get out of doing some basic chores, and, hijinks and mischief ensued as Mickey Mouse gets into. So, I was kind of thinking, how can they make this into a full feature film starring Nicolas Cage? Well, easy. It really had nothing to do with the Fantasia Sorcerer's Apprentice, for the most part. The story basically goes that back in the era of Merlin, he has 3 apprentices, and one of them becomes corrupt. 2 of them are good, sacrifices are made, drama, and basically we have the classic tale of good versus evil going on through the ages, and Nicolas Cage's character of Balthazar, he has to basically stay alive until he can find Merlin's next heir, which conveniently is in 2010 in New York, because that's where all superheroes are. So we actually fast forward to the year 2000, where we're introduced to the story's hero, I guess, besides Nicolas Cage, a young boy named Dave. He's very intelligent, very creative, very artistic. He's your typical really smart kid. He just, he's a kid. Some traumatizing events happen. He meets Nicolas Cage, blah, 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 blah. I'm going to try to keep it spoiler free for you. Fast forward to 2010, and that really regular kid who was really smart but still was like a regular Joe kid, he was still pretty cool, completely out the window. I don't know if I'm the only one. Please tell me there's anyone else out there who is so sick and tired of these uncharismatic, bland, oh, look how mediocrely awkward I am main characters of movies. I've been tired of this shtick since 2005. And we're still just getting pummeled over the head with it, just repeatedly. Enough is enough. Sorry, rant aside, you can probably tell that I wasn't really huge on the character of Dave. That's not entirely true. I'm just tired of it having what I call the Mike Cera effect. That, oh, look how average I am, but I'm actually beyond average because I'm just so awkward. Yeah, I can't stand characters like it. So, this is our main character. So get ready for a bit of a rocky ride if you're like me and you don't like characters like this, but I digress. So we have Dave, he's reunited with Nicolas Cage, and flat out, Nicolas Cage realizes this is Merlin's heir, so he's going to train to be an apprentice. That sounds really quick and to the point, and that is pretty much the story of this movie. It's very quick-paced, not so fast that you would lose anything, but they definitely save us on exposition. It's cut to the point, boom, 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 boom. It's very tidy storytelling, so I appreciated that. What might have suffered from the very boom, 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 boom storytelling is that the writing and the characters weren't what they fully could have been. I mean, again, I didn't care for the character of Dave. For the most part, he started to kind of be less goofy midway through the movie and near the end. He still kept the goofy elements. You can't have a complete 180 change in character, but he became a little more of a human being. The main love interest, her name is Becky. She's just kind of along for the ride, and in all honesty, she's very just down with everything. Because the storytelling is so quick, the characters didn't have much of a chance to properly develop, I think. So, here's this average girl, Becky, who she's being told, okay, yeah, I'm a sorcerer, I'm in the middle of a big sorcerer war, we'll get to that later. And she's just okay, cool, no questions asked. I don't know, I can appreciate you want to get story told, but create a little bit of something there, not just, okay, why not? And the other thing about the character of Becky is that Once again, like all these movies with the incredibly socially awkward main character guy, the main character female, smoking hot early 20s girl. Disney, stop taunting us. Nerds, no, we can't get girls like this. Move on. I would have liked to have seen Becky as a little more realistic. Maybe make her a geek herself. That would have been a really refreshing change. If she's going to be so on board with everything that's going on, then maybe make her a geek as well. I can see a geek being down with that a little more than a girl who looks like she should be on the cover of like a magazine, That's just me. Alfred Molina plays the main villain. His name is Horvath, and he actually does extremely well. Him and Nicolas Cage both. These are two actors who are kind of known for going over the top and going overboard, and both of them played their roles incredibly well. I was quite shocked. Again, with very quick-paced storytelling, it would have been very easy to make these characters hammy and just not at all relevant, someone you don't give a damn about. But these characters, they were definitely portrayed extremely well. Huge ups have to go to Nicolas Cage, because here's an actor whose name is synonymous with over-the-top, overacting, freak out, spaz out, and he didn't do that in this movie, and it made his character better for it. You could tell there was times in the writing where they wanted him to go completely pretzel butt insane, but he kept his character consistent. He didn't just have the random freakouts that Nicolas Cage is known for, and it really made his character far more appealing, because, like I said, I'm going to try to keep it spoiler free, but he's got a pretty tragic, pretty haunted past. So here, you're not going to expect him to be the goofball that Nicolas Cage usually is. And he just did a terrific job. Him and Alfred both. They really carried this movie as the prime hero and prime villain should. The absolute low point of this movie, for me personally, was the soundtrack. The original score that was penned for this movie was terrific. The orchestral pieces were great. But the actual musical soundtrack it was a bunch of trendy pop songs from the last decade that have no relevance to the story whatsoever. It feels like an exec at Disney took his daughter's iPod, scrolled through, wrote down the names of the first 10 songs he came across, handed it off to the guys and said, "Here, make this the soundtrack." It just didn't fit. It felt lazy. It felt very thrown together. It was just pretty much a case of, okay, whose copyright is the cheapest? On the exact opposite side of the coin, the special effects, costume, and makeup, phenomenal. Like, it would be tough, I would think, to take a fantasy era kind of character like a magician or a sorcerer and plop it into modern day New York of all places. Not saying there's anything wrong with New York, but I mean, it's pretty easy to stand out in New York, and I think they did a very good job. The costumes were terrific. The makeup and special effects, like I said, were just great. The characters, they looked special. They had that little bit that would make them stand out, but it wasn't like they had a glowing neon sign over their head that said hero or villain. It was very well done. It was tastefully done. They looked like how main characters of movies should look. They stand out, but it wasn't obnoxious. The special effects and the CGI were fantastic. It's phenomenal in this movie. From the fireballs, from little creatures, every element of the CGI in this movie is terrific. It's just so well done. The budget was very well used. So just sweep under the carpet anyone who's going to complain about the CGI, because honestly, it is something to behold. It's really, this movie just looks great. It's like Pirates of the Caribbean and Prince of Persia. The same company made those movies, so you're going to get a movie, if nothing else, looks terrific, and this movie does. My thoughts are that this was a very good movie. I really enjoyed it. It's a fun romp. It's not like Hemingway. It's not deeply philosophical, but I mean, it's a really fun summer movie. It's take your family, go out on a date and see it. It's just a great, fun, universal movie. And it's kind of interesting how they tie in the plausibility of magic with modern day science. But again, not going to spoil anything. Seriously, just see this movie. A lot of fun. You can see it with anyone, anytime. And it's a great movie. I can't say enough good things about it, so I'm just going to stop saying how great it is. Go see it. You'll see what I'm talking about. And enjoy. See you next time.